Alright, so, yep, we're doing this video. Merry meet everyone, and of course, welcome back to My Pagan Life, as always. So, why am I making this video? The very simple answer to this question is quite simply that I have been part of this community for 6 years now, and over the past 6 years, I have experienced quite a few things that I either didn't expect at all, or that I generally just find problematic. And just a tiny disclaimer before we get into this video, guys, I just really want you to know the following. I am by no means trying to spread negativity here, nor am I trying to bash our beloved community. But the thing is, as a community, it's very easy for us to look to the outside and blame other people for their prejudice, and it's really easy to blame others for our problems. But the fact of the matter is that we as a community also have problems internally. And I think it's time that we look within ourselves, within our own community, and that we start to identify what those issues might be. Now, as I was preparing this video, I also posted a post where I asked you guys what you guys think are some of the issues we have in this community. And a lot of you guys came with some really good suggestions, and I agree with most of you. A lot of the points you guys have brought up are also going to be brought up in this video. And I'm going to say this right now just so that you guys know, but I do not intend to call anyone out on this. I don't want to ruin anything for anyone, and I don't wish to bash certain people or the community as a whole. All I'm trying to do here is to address some issues in the hopes that we can change things and better our community, or at the very least get talking about some of these things. So without further ado, let us get to the points. I'm gonna start with the lighter stuff first and then progress to the heavier stuff. The first thing witches should stop doing is to focus too much on materialism. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this point because I've actually made videos addressing this issue in the past. You can find my video on competitive and materialistic witchcraft down in the description below. However, what I want to address here specifically is not the fact that materialism in and of itself is bad. For me personally, the problem with materialism is when we take it too far. When we give off the impression that the aesthetic and the stuff we use in our craft, like for our spells, is more important than the content or the intention behind the practice. What I think we should do instead is to more openly encourage people to find their own witchcraft approach and style. Basically, your witchcraft does not depend on your materialism. You do not need to afford a bunch of stuff and make your practice look good in order to be a witch. Rather, try to find what works for you and incorporate materialistic objects if they help you advance in your studies and in your craft. It's great if a wand or a crystal can help you practice witchcraft. However, it shouldn't be a requirement, and we shouldn't focus on that aspect of witchcraft too much. We have to focus on what matters and encourage other people to find their own approach and style. The second thing I think we witches should stop doing is to talk rather than act. And I know, I'm aware, I'm partially guilty of this one myself. To be blatantly honest about this, I think we as modern humans living in a modern world, we are more disconnected from the world around us than we'd like to believe. Even if we feel at peace by walking out in nature and we try to help nature to the best of our ability, we're not really connected to nature in the same way as our ancestors were. And it's very easy for us to sit within the comfort of our own homes and talk about things on a theoretical level without truly having experienced all of the things that we're talking about. But as a pagan and as a witch who does talk a lot and who thinks a lot about stuff, I am trying to make an effort now to get more out, to experience more stuff. It's a process and it's not always easy, but I think that we should do the best that we can. Basically, the next time you're contemplating whether something is wrong or not, or whether something is possible at all or not, maybe give it some more practical thought, or get out there and try it for yourself. The third thing I think we witches should stop doing is taking things for granted. And I mean this in every sense of the word. On one hand, it's very easy to forget about our blessings and the wonderful things we have around us. I think we should appreciate more what we have around us and be even more grateful. But on the other hand, it's also easy to take things for granted in the sense that you're reading up on something, you're looking into some information, and then you just accept it as fact. There are times when it's completely legitimate to say that I believe what I believe because it's a personal choice, a personal preference, I am all for that. However, I think we should make even more of an effort to ask ourselves the question, why do I believe what I believe, and why are things the way they are? And guys, I can feel my hands shaking and my heart pumping so hard, and I'm almost out of breath, because this next point never ceases to amaze me. This next point that I'm about to bring up, I am both astonished and sad and disappointed that I even need to say it in the first place. And I'm sorry for taking this tone, but the fourth thing that we witches should really stop doing is putting each other down. And I need to pull myself together not to get angry at this one, but let's regain our control here. I think that bullying is bad enough. Bullying or putting each other down in and of itself is unacceptable. I think it's not something that should be done anyway. But to see one witch trying to bring another witch down, or to see one group of witches try to bring another group of witches down, to me, it makes absolutely no sense. We as witches are part of a community that is small, widely misunderstood, and not to mention, we have a lot of prejudice against us. I am not kidding when I say that we have all sorts of people coming at us from all sorts of different directions telling us that we're evil, we're doing the wrong stuff, we're weird. I am not freaking kidding. Whether it is Wicca, paganism, or witchcraft we're talking about really doesn't matter to me. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people come to our community because we are supposedly open, accepting of each other, and we love each other for who we are. And I cannot fathom, comprehend, understand why we are trying to hurt each other. Gosh. And let me make one thing abundantly clear here. I am not talking about constructive criticism or feedback. I made my pagan life so that I could share my journey with other people, and so that we could exchange different ideas, experiences, opinions and thoughts and whatnot. And heck, I even have a series on this channel called A Bit of a Rant, and it basically serves to create discussion within the community. I love pondering stuff, I love challenging ideas, and I love interacting with people who genuinely want to discuss things. But there's a huge difference and a fine line between what is constructive criticism and debate and what is simply negativity and bullying. And if this isn't just a disservice to the community as a whole, I think it's pretty clear that it's not good overall. I don't think we should be putting other people down just out of principle. And last, but definitely not least, is number 5. And I believe this is also doing a huge disservice to our community as well. We witches need to stop encouraging bad behavior and doing harmful things. And it's even worse if we brag about it. To my knowledge, this isn't something that has been happening a lot recently, but I have seen it happen at times. The best way to explain this point is by first and foremost understanding where this all comes from in the first place. Why would we witches or pagans or witches encourage bad behavior or do harmful things? Well, that's a good question, and I am obviously no expert and I don't have all the answers, but my personal experience is that a lot of pagans have this idea that, oh, everything should be both light and dark, there's balance in paganism. Now, that in and of itself is a great acknowledgement. I think that one of the best things about this community is that there is this fundamental idea that not everything is bad and not everything is good, and that sometimes things happen, that's just life. But what happens when we take it too far? Or, as I like to put it, what happens when we use this idea as an excuse for our actions? I think this might actually be an issue, and I believe I've seen examples of this in the past. And again, I have to make something abundantly clear. This isn't about forcing everyone to be love and light and fluff bunny and everything is great, even though I personally am a bit of a fan of love and light. But anyway, the point is, just as being too much love and light can be bad, being too much of the other side can also be bad. And while bad things happen and some things are justified, not everything is justified as a result of that. So the next time you try to threaten someone with magic, or you're considering doing a baneful magic spell on someone or something, just give it some extra thought. What I'm about to say does relate to the previous points as well, but especially this one. If we're able to fix our issues and look at things from a different perspective and just make ourselves better, we will be more respectable people. And in a world where a lot of people judge us and think that we're evil and not respectable, I think we should do what we can to be respectable people. And this applies to everyone. I'm not calling anyone out because I think that this is something each and every one of us should think about. And those were the 5 things that I believe we as witches should stop doing. Whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments below, and of course, make sure to let me know if you have any more suggestions or any more input on this topic. And just one final note before I leave this video, I love you guys, I love our community, and let's just make sure to keep things healthy and good around here, guys, because that's what makes this community worth it in the first place. And that was it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content on this channel. You can also support My Pagan Life through Ko-fi, link is down in the description below, and until next time, guys, blessed be from My Pagan Life. Stay safe.